with that also.
Who is Cypher Rage?
Will Smith's character.
What?
His name is Cypher Rage.
What?
How fucking incredible is that?
My name is Cypher. Cypher Rage. Tell the truth.
Cypher.
Tell the truth.
Is that concussion? Are you doing
That was
concussion?
concussion. That was concussion.
Okay, good.
Because when he got a concussion of his own, he
Tell the
became
truth.
Cypher Rage.
Welcome back to You'll Get Your Rent When You Fix This Damn Door. Your one-stop shop for all things that are specifically about Sam Raimi's Spider-Man films. I am Casey.
I'm award-winning, Emmy-nominated, and screenwriter, and Zane is my name.
That's your name. Mm-hmm. Good intro. I was going to ask you about that. So, so Zane, award-winning Zane.
Emmy-nominated and award-winning Zane.
I suppose you did need to be nominated in order to win the award.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you win for, buddy?
I won for...
I know, of course. I watched it. It was a delight, but...
Thank you so much. I won Outstanding Beginner Film, which is wonderful considering that I'm a sophomore and I made this last year, and that it was considered outstanding. Wow, that's nifty. That's pretty.
Yeah,
neat.
it was fine. It was fine.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really good. It's called Odds.
Oh yeah, it is.
ODDS, and it's just you and your bud, and you're just talking in the city, and it's really touching and poignant, and I thought it was really good use of 3 minutes, and it was a nice little microfilm.
Thank you.
Good job, buddy.
Considering we kept talking back and forth, we've made 5,000 comedy sketches together. That is the one dramatic thing we have ever made together, and it won an award.
That's pretty fucking badass. Yeah, how did you come up with that idea?
We literally just like that first shot, we were just sitting there and we were going to film a comedy sketch. There's a first shot of us just sitting on a street. We were going to film a comedy sketch. And then I said, what if we did something serious? And he was like, we don't do serious. And I said, what if we tried? And then we just started doing that. And then we just kept walking up and down the street trying to find places that we could keep working with the idea of saying, like, what are the odds? Because I know that's a game that I played with my friends back home. It's you say, what are the odds that such and such, and then they say 1 in 10 or 1 in 100, whatever. Then you count down from 3, and if you say the same number, then you have to act on it. Like, what are the odds that you eat that person's food? 1 in 10, and if you both say 10, then the person that gave the ratio has to do the thing. And so that was just the whole idea behind the film.
It was super good.
Thank you so much.
It was all improvised?
Yes. Yeah, as is everything that I do.
Oh, look at you,
Yes.
Mr. Improv bitch.
Thank you. That's what they called me in college. Improv bitch.
So when you were nominated, you were actually nominated for 2 things.
In the same category, yes.
In the same category.
In the same...
You were nominated for the film Odds, and you were also nominated for something with our friends Zach and my husband Paul.
Yes.
Was also involved in that.
Called The Editor. They are my roommates, and they were there when I was texted that I won, and they did not, and that was enjoyable.
See, I wish I was there, because I would have. Of course, I had priorities.
Yes.
That night, I had to watch Game of Thrones. This was
yeah.
Sunday evening, so big priorities. Rather than support my buddy.
Yeah, fair.
I had to watch a bunch of fictional people struggle to take the throne.
Hey, no spoilers. For everyone that doesn't know, I guess it's spoiler alert. In Game of Thrones, people try and get the throne.
Oh shit! I shouldn't have said that. Uh-oh. But I like Paul. Paul's a silly little man, but I also like to bust his balls. So I think it would have been funny if I had been there when you won.
Oh.
But oh well, that's besides the point. Congratulations, and now you're a award-winning piece of shit, and it's all gonna go to your head, and you're gonna really just become an asshole. Yeah, become as if you're not already. You know?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, envelop the characteristics of an asshole.
Oh, also, so last week, when I was listening back to the podcast, I noticed there's a marked difference in my voice from
when you're drunk and when you're not.
correct.
Yeah.
So it's pre and post wedding.
Yeah.
So 18 minutes in is around where the edit happens, and
Yeah.
it's seamless, of course, because Zane is a master, and
I'm a master seamer.
he's a master seamer, and I go from talking like I normally do, like a dumb, and then I just start dropping my R's in my word. Like, I'm from the Boston area, so that, I guess that's my accent coming out. But oh yikes, yeah. So that was fun. I'm glad I could enjoy that, and I hope you did too. Did you even notice?
Yeah, for sure.
You did.
Yeah.
You just didn't say anything. You were just very polite.
Yeah, you were also you were pretty giddy at that point too.
Well, yeah, 'cause
you were in the zone.
I had just danced my tuchus off, and then I get to talk about my favorite films. So
Yeah.
it's just the perfect night, basically.
Actually, you know what? That's a good segue. Speaking of our favorite films and something to dance your tuchus off to, do you wanna mention how exciting it is that apparently Tobey Maguire has done like an interview recently about would he or would he not be willing to discuss matters of a Spider-Man 4?
Absolutely. I don't think it's regarding Spider-Man 4 exactly.
Yeah.
There's two interesting stories that are going on right now.
Yes.
So in one Tobey Maguire interview with his producing partner, I can't remember his name, unfortunately, but basically the interview was about what they're working on, what kind of films they're producing, what kind of studios they're working with. But also it got into the fact that Tobey hasn't really worked as an actor in a few years. His last role was as like the narrator and like older version of the kid from Boss Baby, which is prestigious in its own right, of course. I know. But other than that, like I think the last thing he did was Pawn Sacrifice in 2014. So it's been quite a while since he actually was like doing stuff.
Yeah.
But that's because he's been working behind the scenes, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
And then on another side, apparently Spider-Man 4, given the success of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse,
Yeah.
they might be thinking of doing like a Spider-Man 4 animated film with Raimi coming back.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Of course, it's all just like a hearsay and like talking at this point. Obviously, nothing has been, set in stone. But I think that idea of like a Spider-Man 4 animated movie would be really, really interesting. Especially if all the talent came back and worked on it too.
Exactly. Cause, I mean, there's no way that they'd make it bad. They already know what they're doing. They're all well acquainted, and it would be a family. They'd already be connected and know exactly how to work with each other.
And it would be, if they kept it in the same animated like vein as Into the Spider-Verse, it would be gorgeous, because that movie is stunningly beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. There are two things that a lot of people want him to come back as, if not his own film. People really want, in this new Spider-Man film, Far From Home, really want him to cameo as like a pizza delivery guy.
You see, okay, here's what I think. I think that if spoilers for Infinity War, I'm just kidding, I don't give a shit. Spider-Man dies.
Yeah.
Spider-Man dies, he becomes dust, and it's great.
Yes.
Of course, because we are the pessimistic cynics who only adhere to the notion that Sam Raimi's films are the only Spider-Man films.
Exactly.
It's healthy. It's a healthy mindset, and
Yes.
it's not disturbing at all.
No. Our therapists may disagree, but what do they know anyway?
Yeah, what do they know? I'm just talking to myself most of the time anyway.
Yeah.
And what I think would be interesting is, since Spider-Man's dead, have Uncle Ben come back in the picture, because he is not in it. It's just Marissa Tomei as Aunt May, and have Tobey Maguire play Uncle Ben, and then he somehow, I don't know how we're gonna swing this, but he somehow becomes Spider-Man.
Okay.
Because Toby's in his 40s. Marissa Tomei, I think, is also in her 40s, even though she still looks like she's 20.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the only good option. And I think that's the only thing that makes any amount of sense, because this way it's kind of like a retcon. It's like a very complicated retcon, in that rather than maintaining the same the same stupid little kid playing Spider-Man. We could have fucking Tobey Maguire come back and be really cool again.
Yeah.
I think that's what the fans want.
I also... I'm hooked onto the idea that he's going to come back in some way, and whether it's a feature film, a short film, because obviously Raimi loves the idea of possibly working with him again. Toby's very open to the idea of working with him again. People in the industry are asking Raimi to do some kind of Spider-Man related thing again. So it's not just up in the air necessarily as like oh yeah, no, it'd be cool. People other than just fans are asking for it, so that immediately piques interest. What I find kind of interesting, and I can't tell if I should love it or I should hate it, is that he said in general he'd even be open to a new superhero role.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I think that'd be really cool. I'd like to see him get back into that, because I don't know if that response was thanks to the release of Shazam, which came out recently. And the only reason I'm even mentioning that movie is because a lot of people are saying, like Red Letter Media in particular, claimed that it had the same feel as the Raimi movies did.
Really? Okay.
Which is like a super compliment, I would say.
Okay, yeah.
Going back to like harkening back to more cheesy kind of like fun superhero movies rather than like really dour, bleak DC movies that DC has been pumping out for too long now.
For sure. I mean, I anything that has a Raimi feel, now I need to see it. So now I'm interested. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as the original Spider-Man trilogy, but it brings my hopes up. So that's cool.
Absolutely.
It'd be cool to have a Marvel and a DC version of Raimi.
That would be interesting, because James Gunn was notoriously fired and then rehired from the Guardians movies. But before he was rehired, he moved over to DC to do the Suicide Squad movie. The new one, the reboot, whatever the fuck it is. God only knows at this point. So what if the same thing happened with Raimi? What if he went over to DC? Okay, that's actually a good question. Since you're the comic book boy, what DC superhero would Raimi be really good to direct?
Oh, I have fun ones. First thing that comes to mind immediately is the Midnighter. That'd be really interesting. So the Midnighter is supposed to have been one of the first openly gay superheroes, but he's also pretty dang graphic sometimes, and whether it's with personal life or violence, because he's just, I don't know how else to explain it other than like he has a boyfriend, or he sleeps around and things like that, but at the same time when he kills people, he kills people. He's all willing, and that's what Raimi did in the Spider-Man films with like Green Goblin, immediately all willing to just blow people up, infiltrate a base building weaponry, just blow up a city. There was no pullback of like, oh, we can't show that much violence, or it won't fit within the rating. They were just like, yeah, okay, we'll kill people because that's what a villain does. We're just gonna kill people.
And it got actually quite bloody too, especially during all the like climaxes of each of the movies, with Spider-Man getting his friggin' face like all bloodied and his mask ripped apart and all that shit.
Yeah, it really did. It'd be really interesting to see him do that with that guy, because I don't know how to explain it, because he kind of looks like Batman, but he doesn't, because he looks more like the Punisher, I guess. He's got like a Punisher jacket, and he's got like the Batman mask but without the ears, and he's got the bat belt, and then
so it looks like Daredevil.
But then he's kind of, but he's all black, and he's always got like this cocky smile on his face, and then he doesn't have nunchucks. He has like 2 metal bars.
Oh God, blunt.
Yeah, but he's just willing to just get covered in blood, but he's at the same time, he's got a sense of humor about what he's doing.
Oh God, so he's just a psychopath.
But like in a wonderful way.
Does he kind of enjoy what he's doing? Is he like
absolutely?
Oh God, he's like Rorschach in Watchmen. I like that.
Yeah, here, I was gonna show you a picture, but you know what? It's a podcast. It doesn't really matter. Like he'll just be covered in blood, and he's still got a smile on his face. Is like, just like, oh, we're having fun today, boys.
If anything, we could even link a photo in the notes.
Or people could just look up who the Midnighter is. It's not that hard to find.
Or people can, pull their fucking weight and actually do something for once, God damn it. Also, okay, as we were discussing who else Sam Raimi would be really good to direct.
Yes.
I don't know why, but I thought what the fuck would Wes Anderson do? Like, what character would Wes Anderson direct?
Oh my God, give me a second, because I feel like I know. Because that's a tough one. Are we trying to stay just in the DC realm? Or are we trying to say any superhero at all? Who would he play?
Fuck it. Let's even bring Dark Horse in this shit. Why not? Let's get everyone involved.
Okay. Would he be able to do Martian Manhunter?
Ooh. That'd be weird.
Because Martian Manhunter is pretty straight face.
What if we had Wes Anderson direct an Injustice movie? So it's just all the superheroes just beating the shit out of each other, but it's really artful and symmetrical.
The League of Extraordinary Gents. Unjustifiably Extraordinary Gents. You gotta find a Wes Anderson name. The League of what is it? The League of Unjustifiably Extraordinary Gents.
That sounds like the subtitle for Birdman.
Bill Murray is Martian Manhunter.
Oh God, Bill Murray is, and Owen Wilson is also in it.
Owen Wilson's Batman.
Owen Wilson.
I'm the Knight.
Wow, I would like that actually.
Superman. Wow, look at your cat.
Superman. Wow.
What's up with
If we had unlimited budget, any choice of director. Let's see. I'm gonna go. I saw this stupid IndieWire article the other day. I think it said like, "Oh man, what if Paul Thomas Anderson did a superhero movie?" And I was like, "Okay, first of all, he wouldn't because he's not trash.
Mm-hmm.
other than Raimi, of course. Raimi's great, and he revolutionized the superhero genre. So forgive me there. But I was imagining like what the fuck? Who would he direct? That's very interesting. Would he take like genuinely very good directors? I guess that's kind of what Marvel's been trying to do, though, without going off on a really, really weird and really unthought out tangent here. God forbid, right?
I mean, we could totally have fun with figuring out who all these. Okay, if you want to stay in the realm of people that are like in the loop of directing right now, a man that's known for his dark and mysterious ways right now is Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele is good.
Because so he's already come out and he's say it's not even a race thing. It's just like, I want to tell black people stories.
Yeah. Totally.
And he's just like, I'm not interested in telling the white people's story, so I tell a black person's story. So he's got to pick a black superhero. And the thing is, would he have fun with it like Spider-Verse, or would he make it intense like Dark Knight? He'd probably make it more intense like Dark Knight, right?
That's a good point. I don't know. He's only put out 2 films so far.
But he's also running Twilight Zone too.
Yeah, that's true. So he's on a real dark path right now.
Yeah, he really is.
He's got things to say.
There are some superheroes that I feel like he could do that would be cool, but I don't think that they would fit his dark style. Like there's a guy named Blue Beetle that I think would be awesome if he got a film. Blue Beetle. But he wouldn't fit this style of Jordan Peele. He would just fit the style of like what's being made now. However, and I think there is a film coming out already for this guy, and I'm gonna check it. There is a guy that I think deserves a movie that's rated R, and I think is not getting a movie that's rated R. Spawn.
Ooh.
Do you know who Spawn is?
Yeah, Seth. Not Seth. Oh my God, what's his name? Something MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane?
Todd McFarlane.
Okay.
Dude's name. Not Seth MacFarlane. No, that guy sucks.
But yeah, I think they tried making a Spawn film at one point.
They did, yeah. John Leguizamo's in it, and the cape physics in Spawn, mind you, are a gosh darn delight. If you have Chime, look up a video of the Spawn cape physics.
Absolutely will.
It's very fucking weird. I'm into it.
Yeah, but the idea of taking Spawn, because right now they're remaking it, and do you know who's playing Spawn?
Hold on, let me guess. Mm-hmm. Is it Keegan-Michael Key?
No, that'd be great.
Is it Willard Christopher Smith Jr. Is it Jaden Smith?
For some reason, Jaden Smith feels like a pretty good guess, but no.
Damn it.
Let's see. This guy was in... he was good in one role in a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Jamie Foxx.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Here's something that I'm also curious in. If Christopher Nolan directed a Marvel movie, what Marvel superhero would he take?
He probably wouldn't because he's the kind of guy who you do it once and you're done.
Except for when you make it a trilogy.
I mean, that's different, and you're an asshole. First of all, he treats those films like Tarantino treats Kill Bill. It's one film. That's not true, by the way. I'm sorry. Jeez. I don't know. I'm thinking of the blandest, most like uninspired Marvel movies, and I would love to see someone with an actual vision direct Ant-Man.
Oh, please!
Like, I saw Ant-Man and the Wasp in theaters, and I genuinely cannot remember a single scene.
I'm so glad you brought this up, and I'm so glad you're on this side. Ant-Man is one of the only movies that I've ever walked out of the theater on.
Which one? The first one?
Yes.
I thought the first one was fine in that it tried to be like a heist movie, but obviously it didn't succeed.
My problem is I didn't make it far into the movie because I couldn't take their sense of humor.
Oh yeah, that's too bad.
In the very beginning, was able to... Michael Pena just repeating the same joke over and over again in the beginning. That was enough for me.
Yeah, but what about people eating ass?
See, that's comedy.
That's a different kind of comedy. That's a Dax Shepard kind of comedy.
That's the kind of comedy that they ease you into it. Once you get there, boom, you're in the zone. You're ready for that kind of stuff to be thrown your way.
If there is a more subtle and nuanced comic film that has come out in the past 5 years, it cannot be topped. It is Chips. It's Chips, obviously.
Let's talk about Chips. What was better than Chips?
What's better than Chips? A swift kick to the groin.
All right, yeah. Yeah.
Doing the Clockwork Orange thing with your eyes open for hours, and Malcolm McDowell getting his cornea scratched.
Oh God.
Let's see. What's better than Chips? Ant-Man is better than Chips. Not by a wide margin, mind you, but it is slightly better. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is worse than Chips.
Okay, that's fair.
It's worse than Chips.
Thank you. I was gonna say that you're putting a lot of pressure on Chips by saying what you're about to say.
even though Chips does not feature Paul Giamatti as a Russian rhino, I guess.
Russian rhino.
There he is.
Yes.
So yeah, that's pretty close. That's actually that's a tight race there. But I'm gonna have to say Chips over that any day.
Chips. It takes a bit to beat Chips, but you gotta have some chutzpah to beat Chips.
Okay, so
yes,
have you ever heard of the film Collateral Beauty?
I'm pretty sure I saw it with my ex-girlfriend.
You saw it?
Am I not mistaken?
Oh my God, I hope you did.
Let me look it up. Is it the movie with Will Smith?
Yeah.
Yep. Then I saw it with Max. Yep.
Oh my goodness! I hope that was the last thing you two did together.
It was probably the last time that she was the same.
Oh Jesus! So, Collateral Beauty is one of the worst films I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
Because of how
good. What's her name? Girl from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Keira Knightley?
Yes, because of how good her acting is in that film. Because she's so good at acting in that film.
What's the quote from Love Actually? But you can't love actually. She speaks with her teeth.
But you can't.
Jack!
You gotta talk with an underbite. But you can't love actually.
Oh my God. But it's like the tip of the iceberg in that movie. Her accent. Like, the movie, for anyone that doesn't know, Will Smith plays a marketing executive in this large firm where he has to manage and oversee a lot of people who have jobs and need to keep their jobs, to live.
Yep.
Frankly. unfortunately, his young daughter passed away, and he has never been the same after, which makes a lot of sense, and that's fair. But what starts to happen is the trailers made it seem like he was visited by 3 ghosts on Christmas.
Yeah.
Basically like the Christmas Carol. But when you actually watch the film, it's a bait and switch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So rather than a pleasant, finding yourself story, it actually turns out that his staff is so upset with him being a depressive person.
Yes.
That they hire this troupe of actors
Yes.
to portray different emotions and different ghosts of his life to basically manipulate him into thinking that he's crazy so that he will step down and they can actually get on with their jobs.
It's amazing.
It is so fucking wild.
They work off of this when they find out that Will Smith is sending actual real life letters to is it to himself or to somewhere else, to 3 fake things like love, death, and something else.
Time, I think.
Love, time, and whatever. Yeah. And
Helen Mirren plays death.
Yeah, and then
she wears purple.
Keira Knightley is love, and then Edward.
What you can't love, actually.
And then Ed Norton, aka the OG Hulk, is what's his
Eric Bana, yeah.
Oh man, I don't remember.
Lou Ferrigno, yeah.
Man, I gotta look up his role real quick. So yeah, you've got love for sure. Oh, Wit. Is that his? No, that's his character's name. That's his.
So it's the 3 ghosts. It's the young.
That is just his character's name. Because Keira Knightley's character is Amy. He doesn't just do Wit. His name is Wit.
No. So he plays one of the. It's Michael Pena, so he's back, thank God. Michael Pena has had a great career, mind you. Ant-Man, Collateral Beauty, Chips, fucking God, it's good. He's also that World Trade Center movie with Nicolas Cage. Don't ever forget that.
Oh God, it's Love, Time, and Death. Yeah, we had it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's Michael Pena,
Kate Winslet,
and
Helen
Edward Norton.
Mirren.
So they do this. The ghosts start talking to him.
Yeah, but then
obviously
they set it up so that. Intentionally, nobody around these people act like they see the actors except for Will Smith. So they make it purposefully that Will Smith is supposed to believe that they are ghosts. There is one part of the film that I really liked, and that was when Will Smith actually starts screaming and freaking out at the whichever one it is at the time.
God.
And then they film it, but then they use post movie magic to cut the person out to make him look like he's a psychopath in the streets.
I fucking forgot about that.
And they
that was so good.
They review the footage later with him, and it's supposed to be it's supposed to snap him out of the whole thing. I don't think it does.
No, it's not supposed to do that. That's the thing. That's why this movie is so crazy and psychotic. It's not supposed to snap him out of it. It's supposed to put him in a frigging mental facility. It's supposed to get him out of his job. He's supposed to get fired or just quit. And it's so fucked up. So first guy loses his daughter. That's horrible. And then his coworkers, who he thought were his friends, decide to manipulate him to the point where he thinks that he is insane.
Yep. They make him think that he's insane, and then he he keeps talking to this girl at some kind of, not an AA, but some kind of circle, and then he never opens up, and then we find out later.
Yeah, guess who she was? Guess who?
Huh? We find out later when he finally starts opening up. It was the wife. But the thing that's big about this is that it's every time he sees her, he acts like he's never met her before. And she goes along with it, is the weird part. It's not even he doesn't recognize her and then she's heartbroken and doesn't understand why he doesn't recognize her. She goes along with it, and then he opens up and then she's you remember, good.
So yeah, it's Naomi Harris is leading the grief counseling. It's like an AA group. And so he goes there. He discusses it. He really misses his daughter. It's really hard on him, obviously. And then by the end of the film, you learn that the 3 actors are actually ghosts. Maybe. That's one of the things that wasn't actually ironed out for me entirely. You learn that Will Smith is kind of crazy because he just had this mental block. I don't want to say he's crazy. That's not fair at all. But he had this mental block where he could not remember his wife, which is like devastating, I'm sure, for his wife. Like, it's all from his perspective, all the shit that's happening to him. Yeah. But you don't really think for one second what kind of emotional toll that's doing on Naomi Harris's character.
Keira Knightley's acting in it is just despicable. It's to put it lightly. It's her acting is so far gone in this film. It's ridiculous.
But you can't have love, actually.
And then there's a ordeal of things that are happening with Ed Norton's character that unfortunately I don't care about. Like, he also has a daughter, but he also can't see her, and then he's not loved as a father, and then he's not a good father, but like it doesn't matter. Like,
it was Oscar bait.
Yeah.
But it was like everyone's performance was horrible. Will Smith's performance in particular, I thought was one of the best parts of the movie.
Absolutely.
Because of how terrible it was. Because at one point, he's standing in the elevator with Edward Norton, and Norton is trying to be like, dude, we're just trying to help you. Like, we have to make sure that you're okay. Like, this is our job's on the line. We, like, come on, give us something here. And Will Smith is just like, straight face, just shaking his head. He's like, no. He's just acting like a small child. It's very funny. And then at the end of the movie, the whole revelation of like, oh my god, I'm seeing ghosts or whatever, while he's getting fired from his job, Will Smith he starts apologizing for how he's acting. He's like, you know what? I'm doing this for you guys. You know, I'm really sorry. I should have worked. It's almost like he took responsibility for his actions.
Yeah.
But in reality, that wasn't at all what happened. I don't know. I watched it with my friend once. Had an absolute blast. Watched it again the next day because I had this thought in my mind. I was going to write this really dense article about it.
Oh, good.
So I took 7 pages of notes.
Oh my god.
And I actually found some right here. Edward Norton's character at one point says, quote, "I wasn't feeling love. I was love."
Oh.
So that was good.
Oh, the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. And then Miss Knightley as Love, she said, quote, "I'm the reason for everything."
In her Bane voice, yes.
In her Bane. Oh, shit. Man, she really bulked up for Dark Knight Rises. Goddamn. She looked really good. She's usually so skinny.
This is fascinating because this is confirmation. Will Smith is not hated in any sense, but has done a string of things where he is somehow the only like light at the end of the tunnel of the entire film. I want to know, what do you think? What film do you think he saves the most out of these 3? Collateral Beauty, Suicide Squad,
oh yeah,
After Earth.
Oh my god, that is a smorgasbord of delight right there.
When you think about the fact that, wow, he starred in all 3 of those films.
So, wow, Collateral Beauty is a Christmas Oscar bait movie that makes I've always described Collateral Beauty as the funniest movie about a man dealing with the death of his daughter. Because it's just like Wish Upon with Joey King.
Oh,
it's
good film.
It's comedic timing parallels, if not surpasses, that of most genuine comedies being made. Suicide Squad isn't fair on me either, because as we speak, I'm currently playing with my Will Smith Suicide Squad action figure. Not kidding. I will tweet a photo of this guy.
Good.
On our Twitter
on
account,
our Twitter
on our Twitter account, and then After Earth is outstanding. Will Smith's mind is beautiful. He has a beautiful mind, like Russell Crowe, and rather than Russell Crowe having Vision as his psychotic counterpart, Will Smith decided, you know what? I'm gonna get M. Night Shyamalan to direct the vehicle for my son's acting career. Can you think of a stupider fucking choice than hiring M. Night Shyamalan to be the starting point to rocket your son's career?
And did you know in that film, because I kept asking this the whole time, they were supposed to have accents, but they couldn't decide on what the accent was. So that's why every now and then Jaden Smith just drops all his R's and says, "Sir," just talks like this.
Sir.
He very literally kind of sounds like he's trying to do a little bit of a Trump impression. "No, sir, I will not do this, sir. That's our talking after Earth."
So you say Trump, I say Michael Caine.
Michael
Caine.
"No, sir. I will not do what you tell me to do, sir."
There he is. Oh my god, Jaden, you're doing so well. Yeah, so oh my god, each of those movies is so horrible. I would say, okay, to answer your question,
yes,
Suicide Squad is the least enjoyable of those because it's actually just kind of dropped dead boring.
Yes.
It is so formulaic and stupid. The opening, where it introduces all the characters one by one, is so grating and time intensive that before you know it, you're already in the second act. But, well, not really, because the conflict hasn't even been introduced yet. And then After Earth is fucking hysterical because Jaden Smith is the main character.
Yes.
And the guy cannot even deliver a line of dialogue.
Do you know how
without
hard
sounding like a robot?
Do you know how hard it has to be a director and be like, all right, we're gonna get this A-list boy Will Smith up in here and his son, but we're gonna take Will Smith, who's only known for a bad rendition of the Karate Kid, and we're gonna send him out into the world, and we're gonna take Will Smith and pin him to the fucking ground so he can't even walk around in this film, and just run with Will Smith has to sit in a plane in the same spot the whole movie.
But do you remember Will Smith's character trait? Remember what his trait is?
What?
He doesn't emote.
Oh god.
So you know how that one thing you have to do when you're an actor is emote?
Oh yeah, because if
that was his thing that he cannot do in the movie.
Because if they show emotion, then the things because they can't. If they show fear in any way, then the things will kill him, whatever the villain thing is. But they just have to be fearless. It just has to be fearless. Here's an idea for your movie. What if that doesn't work? Because the idea is like, if I'm not mistaken, the things are blind, but they can smell. They can literally just smell the fear.
I guess. I don't know. His name is Cypher Rage, by the way. So can we just deal with that also?
Who is Cypher Rage?
Will Smith's character.
What?
His name is Cypher Rage.
What?
How fucking incredible is that?
My name is Cypher. Cypher Rage. Tell the truth.
Cypher.
Tell the truth.
Is that concussion? Are you doing concussion?
That was concussion.
Okay, good.
Because when he got a concussion of his own, he became Cypher Rage.
Can I add a fourth? Can I make this a quintet rather than just a trilogy?
Yes.
All right, Bright.
Oh,
so
boy.
we got two David Ayers.
I was nervous for a
Ayers
second you were going to say Concussion because I liked Concussion.
Didn't see it. No interest.
I liked Concussion. Bright, man. Wait. Now we're just...
This is the Will Smith episode, guys. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, boy.
I sure don't. So Bright is fucking awful.
Mm-hmm.
Bright was written by Max Landis. Max Landis being the son of good Hollywood director John Landis. Max Landis being the son of John Landis, who did like American Werewolf in London.
All right.
So before the movie even came out, he was like promoting it by claiming that it was his Star Wars, meaning this was his huge accomplishment. This is his world-building, universe-expanding movie that he was putting out for us, the peons, the audience.
What?
And then what we're met with is a racially like really disgusting movie that doesn't exactly know what it's doing, with horrible performances across the board. And, oh god, I saw it once and it made me so angry. Did you ever see it?
Bright?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see Bright. I didn't want to see that for a second. I saw the cover and I was immediately turned away.
So it's Will Smith is a cop.
Okay.
He's a cop in LA. And this is a world in which it's basically if Lord of the Rings was our history.
Good.
So there are orcs, there are centaurs. There are centaurs, and there are like fairies and stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's basically just trying to say like, when his partner becomes an orc, or when he is given a partner of an orc, played by Joel Edgerton, the only good performance in the movie, which is hysterical because he's under like pounds of makeup the whole time. It's supposed to be like, oh man, this is like a dude who's overcoming difference. You know, it's
right.
It's like the Green Book of fantasy cop shitty movies. You know,
oh
like,
god,
he starts out as racist, and then he really learns. Except for the fact that the whole movie is so transgressive of its whole message.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have a movie about race, and then you have Will Smith saying fairy lives don't matter as he beats a fucking a fairy to death. Not only is that, like, racially questionable, it also has homophobic tendencies. I don't know. It's just not good. It's just a fucking horrible movie. And that was Netflix's tentpole. That was their first huge, like, quote-unquote blockbuster attempt at filmmaking. And they chose David fucking Ayer to direct it.
Okay, so just to follow up on this, there are two things about Will Smith that I need to mention right now. If we're gonna add a fourth movie, we're gonna add a fifth movie, and that fifth movie is everybody's favorite thing that's coming up right now, Aladdin.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. Do you think that he's actually gonna be the best part or the worst part of that film?
That movie looks
no way he's in between.
It looks like the biggest clusterfuck ever. I like how their premiere trailer for it that features Will Smith, because that's the only thing that everyone has been interested in seeing, because he's taking over the role that Robin Williams did so well.
Yeah. There is no way that he lives up to that. There is no way that he lives up to that.
It is not even like a matter of whether he's going to live up to it, whether he's going to do a nice homage to it, whether he's going to take it his own different route. I was literally just interested in seeing how they were going to make it look on screen.
And they didn't do a good job.
And goddammit, they made a blue Shrek, and it is fucking outstanding.
They did that, and then also, like, apparently, just minutes afterwards into the movie, he's a human.
How lazy is that? Oh my god. But I also, all these Disney live-action remakes, quote, heavy sarcastic quote on the words live action there, especially knowing that the fucking Lion King is coming out. God, fuck that movie. Not the animated one, obviously, that's gorgeous, but the new one is just going to be an absolute dumpster fire. But like, oh, it's bad. This
is where things get interesting for Will Smith's career, because now we've been bashing him for a bit, right? He's either the savior of all these bad films, or he's the butt of the joke in these bad films. But there's a film coming out that I did not know existed until I looked up his name right now, and I cannot express how badly I want to see this film. All right?
Oh god.
Listen.
Yep.
It's an animated film.
Uh-oh.
And his animated character looks exactly like him.
Okay.
And just, if you have heard of this movie, great. Don't say anything if you haven't. I'm about to blow your goddamn mind.
Okay.
The film, don't look it up, is called Spies in Disguise. And this film is an action animated adventure. And essentially Will Smith is a spy. It's beautiful.
Can I just say something?
What?
I looked it up.
Don't say anything about it yet. Don't you dare say anything about it yet. So it looks fantastic. The trailer, boom, the action looks great and whatnot. The log line for this film is when the world's best spy is turned into a pigeon. He must rely on his nerdy tech officer to save the world. This man, Will Smith, takes on the role of a spy that gets turned into a pigeon
Can you tell me what the film is a remake of, please?
Can I just say really quick? That when I saw this at first, I was like, oh, okay, it's gonna be a film about spies that like know how to shapeshift into pigeons, and now like that's how they spy on people because there are so many spies. Like that would just be like, oh, there are pigeons everywhere, but really they're spies in disguise. Name of the movie. There's looking and searching for people, whatnot. Cool. No, it's just a spy that got turned into a pigeon. It's just that. It's just that.
See, when I looked it up, first of all, it is a remake of a short film called Pigeon Impossible.
What?
So that's just outstanding on its own right.
What?
But also the tagline that I'm seeing, which isn't what you said, is Super Spy, Super Fly.
Yeah, yep, that's me.
I like the size of his head in comparison to his face. It's all just smudged up there in the top. And also it features Tom Holland, so I guess that's a nice connection to Spider-Man there, huh?
There you go. Finally wrapping back into Spider-Man. Also, DJ Khaled is in this film.
I was about to scream. Yeah, DJ Khaled's in this movie. Why is he in this movie?
Karen Gillan plays eyes, and DJ Khaled plays ears. I hope I hope it has nothing to do with being your eyes and ears. I hope it has everything to do with literally Karen Gillan voices Will Smith's eyes and DJ Khaled voices Will Smith's ears.
Oh my god, the irony of DJ Khaled being the ears. My god.
You played yourself.
You played yourself. Ew, looking into Will Smith's filmography made me sad again.
Because he's, yeah.
Because I saw Bright 2 is coming out at some point. Yeah.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
What are you doing? Wait a minute, I'm going to take a picture of this, and then I'm just going to send it to you. I went to his page, and it's just a picture of Will Smith's face on different superheroes. I think it's his face on Neo from Matrix, and then his face on, like, Nick Cage's Superman.
Yeah, he was supposed to play, or he was asked by the Wachowskis if he wanted to be Neo. I think he declined the role, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I never heard of him being attached to any Superman projects. Sorry.
Shout out to two of the films that he is working on right now being called Bad Boys for Life and Bad Boys 4.
Yeah, I don't know why both are listed because it's called Bad Boys for Life. Obviously the 4 is a stand-in for the numeral 4 as well. So.
One of them he plays Detective Mike Lowry, and in the other one he plays Mike Lowry.
Oh yeah. Hold on, you're actually right. Because Michael Bay did 2 Bad Boys movies, so they're doing Bad Boys for Life, which is the 3rd one, and then he's also doing Bad Boys 4. So they're really putting all their chips on Bad Boys for Life doing well. Chips. Ironically, being a good movie.
Yeah.
Who's this directed by? Michael Bay isn't doing it. 2 dudes.
It doesn't say for Bad Boys 4. It does not say who's directing it. For Bad Boys for Life, it says that the director is something that my Wi-Fi needs to figure out now. Adil El Arbi and Bilal Fallah.
Cool.
I don't know what I just said.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we have a lot to look forward to in the next few years then. We have Aladdin, we have Spies in Disguise in 1 year. Dear frickin' Lord.
So it comes out in September. Spies in Disguise comes out in September, everybody.
Oh yeah, and then he's in a new Ang Lee project, which is like also shot in, what the hell is it? It's like super high frame rate. It's like 120 frames, I think, per second.
Oh my god.
Which is dumb, and he did that on Billy Lynn, and that movie didn't do well commercially or critically. So like, why do it again? I guess.
Yeah.
Poor Ang Lee.
That's crazy. And if we want to wrap this up, another connection besides Tom Holland being in the Spies in Disguise film, we can just say, well, Will Smith's son being Jaden Smith. Jaden Smith, I'm pretty sure, made an original song for Spider-Verse.
Did he?
I'm pretty sure he made an original song for Spider-Verse.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I listened to a Jaden Smith song.
What?
And I did not hate it.
What? Good for him.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Didn't know that you could listen to a song that he made and not hate it. That's good.
I actually hear that he's a pretty good dude, like humanitarian and shit.
He's got great tweets. To be fair, if you ever watched the show The Get Down, that was pretty great. He was pretty.
Oh,
good.
that was on Netflix, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on Netflix. It was fantastic, and then it got canceled for some reason.
Oh, okay.
For some reason.
Wow. Okay, so we covered a lot of ground today.
Yep.
Basically, 20 minutes of which was dedicated to me fumbling over the plot synopsis for Collateral Beauty because that movie is a confusing clusterfuck of hell.
Oh yeah.
But I'm glad that we were finally able to delve into Will Smith's filmography because that guy just deserves the best.
Yeah.
Even if he never delivers. In fact, I can't think of a good film that he has done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's disarming. But I also don't think that he needs to make traditionally good films because the ones that he does make are wildly entertaining. So yeah, thanks for listening to our Spider-Man podcast.
Yeah, thanks for listening to our Spider-Man podcast.
Join us next week where we probably talk about Wilfred Brimley.
Okay, I'm all in.
Let's see what the connection. Since we're able to make connections everywhere, I think we can make one easily. All right, God bless America. Gotta go bye.